I just find it hard to believe this is the last day I'm going to be driving this car again. And I'll go pull the cover off this thing and jump in, take her for a ride. As soon as I get in, as soon as I pull the cover off, I just get this shit-eating grin on my face. And then you jump in and your whole attitude just changes. You're driving down the street, heads are turning, they're all grinning and smiling like, you know, that's the best thing they've seen all day. It probably is. It's a 1954 R-Type, left-hand drive, automatic transmission. This is one of two remaining Bentleys, R-Type Bentleys, registered with the Rolls-Royce Owners Club. I found her in a garage, a private seller in Sacramento, another general contractor, and played with Bentleys and Rolls-Royces for a hobby. He restored them, bought them at auctions and estate sales, that kind of thing. As soon as you open the garage door, I fell in love with it. You can see why. Made a deal and drove her home. Back in 1986, when I bought the car, I paid $22,000 for it. I put it in a shop, in a Rolls-Royce certified mechanic kind of shop. And they, $30,000 later, I got the car back. I went through the motor, the transmission, the brakes, every rubber grommet was all weathered out, dried out, and cracked, and replaced all that. $50,000 later, I had my Bentley. 1991, after I threw all this money in it, I built a house in Marysville. I was married, 2 kids, and the market was going south. I'm a general contractor too, and started to have to sell things. Well, on top of that, I wasn't getting along with my family life, and ended up going through a divorce. When you go through a divorce, your toys go first. So she went. I sold her to a fencing contractor to put the fence up around the house I just built. At a steal, less than what I originally paid for the car. 22 grand. Anyway, that was it. I watched her go down the road and watched the house go, the wife, kids, whole deal. Typical divorce, right down the tubes. They say it takes 10 years to get through a divorce, and they're not lying. Because it took every bit of 10 years to get back up on my feet and start running again. About 14 years went by, 2005. I took a job on in Sacramento, living in the Bay Area, and I was commuting in one morning and looked in the truck next to me. It was a Frontier fence truck. That's the company that I sold the car to the owner of that company. So I needed a fence price for my project. I was building a 48-unit condominium project in Sacramento. I needed a fencing price. So I called Ed up, and I was surprised to see he was still there. I told him what I had a project down the street, and he was excited. We were both excited to hear from each other. I asked him if he still had the old car. "You still got the old car, Ed?" "Yeah, the Bentley, I sure got it. I still have it, Jack, yeah." Yeah. I said, "Ed, I'd be interested in buying that car back if you'd be interested in selling it." He says, "You know, I wasn't even thinking about selling it, but if I was going to sell it, I'd sell it back to you for sure if you wanted it." I says, "Well, $64,000 question is, Ed, how much?" 15 years have rolled by. It's in better shape than it was when I sold it to him. He says, "I'll tell you what, I'll sell it back to you, Jack, for the same thing you sold it to me for, 22 grand. And my heart just got choked up. I couldn't believe it. I didn't really even have 22,000, almost like the original car, but I said, "Okay, I'll do that." He, 15 years later, was just extraordinary. I couldn't believe that, you know, we crossed paths again. And another thing, that he was willing to sell it for the same price that I sold it to him for, back to me. So those two things right there occurring at the same time. At the same time, I had about 15 grand in the bank. And that's not far from 22. And on top of that, he gave me 45 days to come up with the rest, basically. So I did. I could make it work, and that's why I made it work. Did I really want the car back? No, because I took a bath on it. And yes, because maybe there's another opportunity. I might be able to make a profit this time. I feel fortunate to have had the opportunity to buy her back, actually treat her well, put another 10,000 in it, the way you should treat an old car like this, whether it's a Bentley, a Rolls, or an old Ford Mustang. You're gonna have to put money in it. I'm the kind of guy that likes to go through cars a lot, and I do. And it's obvious I do, because it's the second time I've owned this one. And it might be a third time. You never know. I'm game for another adventure. Let her go down the road. I'm sad to see her go. But actually keeping a bunch of pictures around is a lot cheaper than keeping the car. Let somebody else play with their chick. I'm done.